Okay, change of scene. I'm sat on the sofa this time for a different format. I wanted to do a reaction video, perhaps the beginning of a series around terrible advice that you see online. And in this video, I wanted to react to a video by _Rollercoasteroflove on Instagram. She's got like 68,000 followers, so a lot of people are seeing this. But I actually think there are some really big problems with this video. So let's watch and I will give my commentary as we go.
Here are 5 things that I would never do in dating now that I'm a narcissistic abuse survivor and recovery coach. And follow if you want me to explain number 5. Number 1, I will never, ever tell someone what kind of relationship I'm looking for. They do not need to know the playbook. They're just going to mirror you and love bomb you and tell you exactly what you want to hear.
Okay, they're going to love bomb you and tell you exactly what you want to hear, so you're not going to say what you want from a relationship. I really think people who set rules like this need to think what sort of person it filters out as well as what sort of person it filters in. So you're going to filter out people who genuinely want to make sure that they're on the same page as you, that you want the same sort of relationship, whether that's short-term, long-term, something that's going to lead to marriage and kids, etc., or a one-night stand. You're not going to reveal that, so you're just going to have to guess. What's that say about your communication skills? And also, what sort of person is not going to care about this? The sort of person who literally doesn't care what you want, that they're just going to get what they want and throw you away afterwards. Maybe she's avoiding giving any ground to the narcissist, and she's just upgrading to full-blown psychopath. Anyway, let's continue.
Number 2, I will not divulge my past traumas or my past relationship experiences with anyone. They're still a stranger, and they will weaponize that later.
Okay, so she's also not going to share anything about her past traumas because they can be weaponized. Now, okay, there are some things you don't need to tell someone straight away, and some things that are probably private forever. However, the closeness of your relationship really depends on you being open with another person, and you can't build a relationship based on mistrust. I think it's, like I said, it's this playing defensive with people that may not be out to hurt you. I'm guessing that she has a habit of finding narcissists, a group that make up about 5% of the population. Rather than trying to play spot the narcissist, I think she'd be better off spending her energies understanding why she is drawn to such people. What is it about these emotionally unavailable people that don't really care about her that she finds so appealing? Why is she replaying the same story again and again, and then coming up with these very alienating defense mechanisms? Okay, let's continue.
Number 3, I will never ignore my gut feeling. When my gut's telling me something, it's intuition. Even if it feels like butterflies, it's probably anxiety, and if I feel it, I'm gonna run.
Okay, some truth to that. Yeah, I think it's really good to listen to what your feelings are saying. However, if you have a background of trauma, like I have, like she has, a lot of our feelings are going to just be reacting against what we're not used to. So I used to not be able to enjoy relationships which seemed healthy because they just seemed a bit weird to me. Okay, it wasn't so much, for me, it wasn't so much anxiety, but it was just like, this doesn't feel like love feels. This love shouldn't it be more conditional? Shouldn't I have to do more to earn it? And it always felt, a little off. So yeah, anxiety is probably not a good thing to be feeling, but there are people who are anxiously attached, that they experience love through unstable attachments to others. So again, maybe it's right, maybe it's wrong, but you need to be really self-aware about this.
Number 4, I will never let anyone cross my boundaries, not even once.
Yeah, I think good boundary defense is a good idea, so long as you state them. You know, different people have different boundaries, and you can't assume that someone can read your mind. I'm not saying that she's assuming this, but you've got to communicate them. And then if someone does cross them, you've got to say, hey, you did this, I don't like it. And you can either end the relationship or say, don't ever do that again. It's up to you, but you need to raise it, call it out, and it has to mean something. It can't just be, oh, you've gone over my boundaries again and I'm going to let you get away with it again with no consequences. It needs to be stronger than that. So in this point, I largely agree.
And number 5, I'm not going to fall in love with anyone unless both of us are in love with ourselves first.
Okay, yeah, that was a really good ending, actually. But I would emphasize the fact that you need to see someone loving themselves as well. And there's a difference between self-love and, I don't know, grandiose narcissism. I'm questioning whether she can see that, giving her background, giving her defensiveness against narcissists. I mean, I haven't watched more of her content, just this, but like I said, I have this big reservation around whether there's enough healing work done. Because for me, yeah, I've encountered narcissistic people in my life, and there was probably previous versions of me who would be very, very attracted to people like this. But now I've done my healing. You know, there's still more to go, of course, but I've done the work. I've confronted my fears. I've confronted my insecurities. I've questioned why I attach the way I do. And now I don't need to play spot the narcissist. I don't need to play defensive. These people are just not compatible with me, and they can go their own way and I can go mine. There's no drama. There's no fear. I want to invoke, actually, from around this concept of defensiveness, the movie Kung Fu Panda, because in this movie, one of the main characters, so the two protagonists, there's Master Shifu and Master Oogway. So when Master Shifu hears that this criminal Tai Lung will return, he panics and says to double the guards and take all these extra steps to keep things extra safe and extra secure.
Fly to Chaw Gum Prison and tell them to double the guards, double the weapons, double everything. Tai Lung does not leave that prison.
Yes, Master Shifu.
And him taking those actions actually leads to Tai Lung escaping. And Master Oogway replies,
"One often meets his destiny on the road he takes to avoid it."
There's a quote in the book No More Mr. Nice Guy, which I have literally over there, but I didn't pick it up for this video, that says, "The opposite of crazy is still crazy." Very often, people experience things in life from being one way, from being too tolerant with people who overstep their boundaries, such as narcissistic people. And then they go to an opposite extreme, but neither is healthy. The real healing work comes in recognizing that neither extreme is good for you. And you can find somewhere in the middle, which is actually more authentic. And you're not reacting, you're acting from your own place. And you're not affected so much by other people. And it's a really good place to get to. I think I'm happier than I have ever been in my life from being like this, from being free. And finally, I think I want to share this quote, which I put on my laptop. It's a quote from The Four Loves by C.S. Lewis, about people who try to love too safely. I mean, I know there are foolish ways of loving, but you can love wisely. But it must involve vulnerability. Anyway, here we go. To love at all is to be vulnerable. Love anything and your heart will be wrung and possibly broken. If you want to make sure of keeping it intact, you must give it to no one, not even an animal. Wrap it carefully round with hobbies and little luxuries. Avoid all entanglements. Lock it up safe in the casket or coffin of your selfishness. But in that casket, safe, dark, motionless, airless, it will change. It will not be broken. It will become unbreakable, impenetrable, irredeemable. To love is to be vulnerable. I have a lot of problems with the coaching industry, and it's why I took myself out of it for a while. There are people with huge followings who give really bad advice. And I think it's really important to ask whether someone speaks from their scars or from their wounds. Scars have healed over, wounds are still bleeding. If you go on a journey with someone, it's very important that they understand where you are, but they also need to have been able to lead themselves out of those valleys in order to be able to lead you out as well. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I didn't script it, except that quote. Thank you very much for listening. And if you want more, please comment. I'd like to know your opinion. If there's any particular subject you want me to talk about, please let me know. Okay, have a great day, guys.